Hi, I'm Andrei Mincov, the founder of Trademark Factory, and in this video, I'm going to share my thoughts about yet another trademarking screw-up. This time around, it's Mayhems accusing Thermaltake of trademark ripoff. Alright, let me start by reading from the article, and then you can always find the link in the description below. Liquid cooling specialist Mayhems is seeking to block importation of Thermaltake's rival products into the UK over claims that are in breach of Mayhems' trademark on the word pastel in connection with cooling fluids. Mayhems' pastel family of cooling fluids for PCs, named for the solid rather than translucent color of the liquid, was developed in partnership with Ice Dragon Cooling for release in 2010 and has proven popular among those who like something a little different in their rig. 5 years after it started selling the products, and a year after signing a licensing deal for EK Water Blocks to sell the formula under its own branding, Mayhems applied for and was granted a trademark on the word pastel as it applies to cooling liquid of any kind. And it claims that Thermaltake is looking to capitalize on its marketing efforts by using the same term for its own rival solid color coolant fluids. Right? Thermaltake's own P1000 pastel coolant range was unveiled at the Consumer Electronics Show earlier this year alongside T1000 transparent cooling variants. So P for pastel and T for transparent. Kind of makes sense. And stands as a direct competitor to Mayhems' pastel family and EKWB's licensed version. Accordingly, it's unsurprising to find Mayhems is unimpressed, though company founder Michael Wood's decision to attempt to seize the product at the border may raise eyebrows. Okay, here's what he says. I have tried my best and politest way to mediate with Thermaltake without success, Wood writes in an impassioned Facebook post. And basically they have threatened to have our trademarks removed from us. We are considering taking them to the UK courts, consulting legal advice now. I do not care how big a company is. I will defend and fight this if I can. We may be a tiny company against a Goliath in this industry, but it will cost them more than it will me. Now, this makes absolutely no sense. From the absolute numbers, yes, it may cost them more, but relatively, they don't care how much they spend. That's exactly what their strategy is. They want to spend more money than you. They want to outspend you. They want to throw tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars on their lawyers, on their motions, on extensions of time, all of that stuff, because they can and you can't. So to think that they will hurt by having to spend more in this dispute is just nonsensical. I mean, you do have some really good arguments, and I'll go through them in a moment, but the idea that they're going to spend more and sometimes it's a problem for them is just so wrong on so many levels. All right, just going back to this. So he says, yeah, it's going to cost them more, it will me. All right, I'm fighting for all us small guys and companies. We will not let a mega company like that walk all over us. I have nothing to lose. Well, that's doubtful, but well, let's keep going. Pastel is my trademark. I don't care if you like it or not. Wood continues. Aurora is our trademark if you like it or not. Mayhem's logos are also protected again if you like it or not. Mayhem's is my hard work. My coolants are my hard work. It's that simple. I have not worked my ass off for 10 years to have someone take it away from me. I gave Thermaltake a chance. They will not shut me up like they did others, and I will not apologize. I'm not soft and they don't scare me. Mayhems can easily close up and open under any name and carry on doing what we do. I create, not steal. I invent, not copy. I work hard, as do my staff, and we all feel the same. I get that. According to documentation provided to BitTech by Mayhems, the company is investigating legal recourse up to and including having all Thermaltake P1000 pastel products impounded at the border as they enter into the UK using laws related to counterfeit products. Direct negotiations with Thermaltake have ceased after the company issued a rejection of Mayhems' accusations and a claim that it uses the word pastel purely in technical manner to differentiate the shades from its transparent variants, and not as part of the product trade dress proper. Thermaltake is willing to fight its corner, while Mayhems is seeking to prevent Thermaltake's P1000 products from being imported into the UK. Thermaltake has warned the company that it may seek to invalidate the pastel trademark altogether. Wow. It's a dramatic story. There's a lot of things going on, and I may criticize Mayhem's owner for not seeing beyond the idea that Thermaltake is going to spend more money, but I can totally feel for the guy. As he says, he works his ass off trying to build this brand. He's doing everything by the book, right? He comes up with a brand, he trademarks the brand, he builds up the brand, he, makes that brand into something that people actually like. They even have a licensee, and now a big player comes in and just wants to take it away. So I can totally understand the frustration behind it and the decision to fight for it. So there's a couple of things here aside from the idea that, you can't outspend somebody with a lot more dollars in their budget than you ever had. And again, they will just throw all this money to do what they do best, right? They will hire a bunch of lawyers who will be filing motions that you will have to respond to, and you'll have to find lawyers to respond to. You're going to run out of money a lot faster than they will. And not only money, you will run out of other resources because it takes energy, it takes time, it takes people to deal with a big lawsuit. And if somebody else has a lot more of those resources, it's easier for them to win. But aside from that, there's a couple of things here. What Thermaltake is saying is that pastel is not a trademark, that it's basically just a general way of referring to solid colors of coolants versus transparent coolants. And that's the argument they're making, both to say, oh, we're not infringing because we're not using pastel as a trademark, we're just using it in a generic sense. And also they're using that as a potential argument, as a threat that they would go to invalidate Mayhem's trademark for the same reason that their trademark should never have been registered, because pastel is a generic way to refer to solid colors for coolants. Now, Mayhem's argument here would be that there's so many different ways to refer to solid color for coolant specifically, that pastel is not a generic name, is not a descriptive term. It is a proper trademark, and that it's been used as such by Mayhems, and it's being infringed by Thermaltake through their series. So that's that side. The other point that I wanted to make is the impounding. So many countries have laws that allow you to stop anybody else from importing into the country where you have a trademark, a product that's marked by a trademark similar to yours, if that product is not authorized by you. So you can, instead of you waiting for them to import and start selling and then suing them locally, what you can do is go to the customs and say, we know that somebody else, that those people are going to be bringing into the country a shipment, a container of products that will have a brand that infringes on our trademark. Make sure that this product never makes it into the country, because that would be counterfeit. So this makes it a lot more effective anyway to prevent the importation, which is why Thermaltake is so upset, because it's not even getting them into the courts, it's stopping them at the border. So that's the second piece. The third piece here is that apparently Mayhems only have this trademark in the UK, because the importation part they can only do in the country where they have a registered trademark. And if UK is the only country where they have it, then they can only hurt Thermaltake in the UK. So Thermaltake would be able to use the same name pretty much everywhere except for the countries where Mayhems registered their pastel trademark, and I'd be surprised if they've registered it in a lot of different countries based on this article. So that's the story, and it's a sad story, and I'm wondering if they're going to settle. One thing I'm thinking about is this. Mayhems already licensed this to another company, EKWB, right? They already let one competitor to use that name under a license. So what most probably is going to happen is that after they spend enough money on lawyers, there will be some settlement discussion, which would result in Thermaltake getting a license. Probably they're going to pay something, and that will be the end of the story. And if not, we'll see, and you will hear about it first. If you found this interesting, if you found it useful, subscribe now, get notified whenever the next video goes live. And if you got a brand that you want to protect, you're just maybe not sure what you need to protect, how you need to protect it, where you need to protect it, when you need to protect it, go to trademarkfactory.com, book a call with our strategy advisors, and they'll be able to help you get started. And if it so happens that you move forward with a brand that we think is not trademarkable, then it's completely risk-free. You can get all your money back, and that's it. So instead of you paying to find out that we can't help you, you only pay if we move forward with registration. So that's what makes Trademark Factory different. You get the package, we check if it's doable. If it's doable, we do it. If it's not doable, you get all your money back. Simple as that. But like I said, book a call with our strategy advisors, and they'll be able to help you get this process started. And until then, I'll see you in the next video.